All right, before we start here today, I want to read you the definition of what a draft bust is. And from there, I want you to draw your own conclusion on who you think I'm describing. Quote, a draft bust is a highly touted or highly selected draftee that does not meet expectations. Now, immediately, what comes to your mind? We can eliminate the obvious: Jamarcus Russell, Ryan Leaf, Anthony Bennett in the NBA. There have been a lot of them that have been prolific to an extent. But is there anyone right now in baseball who describes what I'm saying? A highly touted or highly selected draftee that does not meet expectations. Who am I talking about? Who in the Chicago baseball scene has been highly touted, highly drafted, but really hasn't met expectations consistently? If you guessed Kris Bryant, you are correct. Now, this might be a shock to some people. Even to me to say it and to think about it, it's shocking. Remember, Kris Bryant, Rookie of the Year, MVP, World Series winner. Technically, because of all of that, because of his first 2 years in baseball, he's not a traditional bust. No, he's not Jamarcus Russell. He's not going out there losing games for his team, getting paid, and not doing anything. He has produced to an extent. I'll give him that. And I'll give his fan base and supporters that much of it. But what has he done for the Cubs lately? Has he really lived up to expectations long term? Has he sustained success? Has he been the reason why the Cubs are where they are today? See, these are serious questions. No one wants to tackle them. No one wants to talk about them because they're so scared about upsetting the Kris Bryant fan base and the Cubs fan base. It's safe to say that right now, Kris Bryant is a bust. At least lately. Look at his numbers. Look at what he's done for this team since 2017, 2018. The guy could barely stay on the field. When he does play, there's nothing special there. 2017, 272. This year, 195 at the plate. He's hitting under 200. Maybe he's a former MVP, a former World Series winner. But if I pick a guy in the top 10 of a draft, I'm not asking for one World Series. I'm not asking for one MVP year. I'm asking for sustained success. Can you perform at that high level for 10, 15 years? That's not unreasonable to ask. Look at around the game. Look at the NBA, NFL. The guys who were selected high, who are still good today, they have sustained success. That's why no one dares to ever call them a bust. Eli Manning, not a bust. Sorry. Yeah, the last 2 or 3 years weren't the best. He won 2 Super Bowls, though. Sustained success. He beat the Patriots. Sustained success. In the NBA, LeBron James, without question. Not a bust. Sustained success. The guy has 3 rings. He's been performing at the same level, if not better, from 2003 to today. It's 2020 now. That's sustained success. There is no chance LeBron James is a bust, right? He's done it well every single year, even for different teams. Nothing has really changed in his game playing performance. If anything, he's gotten better only. He's never really regressed yet. Kris Bryant, in my opinion, had 2 good years, 2015 and 2016. And 2015 really wasn't that great. It was only because he was a rookie. For rookie standards, it was great. But he did lead the league in strikeouts with 199. Let's not forget that. And the year after, yes, he won the MVP. He did deserve it. 39 homers, 102 RBIs. He only led a category in runs. He led with 121. But all year, you kind of knew, yep, Bryant's going to get it. That's fine. It was like Cal Ripken Jr. they compared him to. Ripken won the Rookie of the Year, then won the MVP. First 2 years in the league. It was historic. Good for him. He did help the Cubs get to the World Series. And even the year after, I will contend it was a down year compared to MVP standards, but he still got the job done. He had a similar OPS, just less RBIs. Nothing to be ashamed about if you're Kris Bryant. Good year. Then what happened in 2018? Injuries, 272. 2019, he came back mostly healthy, but hit 282. And yeah, he had 31 home runs, 77 RBIs, but that's not Kris Bryant-esque numbers. That's not what we were expecting and what we were told back when the Cubs drafted him. And now in 32 games, Bryant's hitting 195. 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, 5 doubles. That's it. Kris Bryant is a post-it note in 2020. Well, wait a minute. He was supposed to be an MVP. Great player. Top 10 pick. See, there's a difference here. Whether it be his fault or injuries' fault, I'll blame it on injuries. Bryant is not the same player he once was. I don't think he'll ever be that player again in baseball. There's no way. The guy's 28 years old and breaking down. 28. This is supposed to be his prime. He was supposed to be great. Even the 39 home runs the year he won the MVP was said to be underwhelming. Oh, he'll easily be a 40 home run guy. That's what everybody said. I remember. Oh, his power's off the charts easily. 40 home run guy. He'll lead the league at some point. I'm still waiting for that to happen. He's been in baseball now 6 years. If you get rid of those first 2, what do you really have? A good player? A guy who for 2 years did all right? That begs the question. Is Kris Bryant a bust? Let's not shy away from it. Let's bring it out in the open here. Is Kris Bryant a bust? The World Series, yes. The MVP, yes. Rookie of the Year. But when we talk about, again, sustained success, when we talk about doing it over a long period of time, when we talk about expectations when you're drafted, I don't think he's lived up to them. I think he's fallen drastically short. Tell me I'm wrong. When you take a guy in the top 10, you're investing in your future. You're drafting your franchise cornerstone. He will be the face of the franchise. Bryant might be the face of the franchise for the Cubs, but that doesn't mean he's produced on the field. There's a difference there. There's a difference between marketing him to be great and actually playing great. Big difference. The Cubs, their fan base, media to an extent, they all market Kris Bryant as this great player, as the face of the franchise. But when you take a deeper look, especially at his numbers since 2018, there's really nothing there. There's nothing there. There's nothing that's impressive to me. He's a good player. He's not a top 10 pick. Those numbers don't signify top 10 status. I think of Kris Bryant at this point as Mark Prior. And I know everybody's gasping, holding their breath right now, but think about it for a second. Mark Prior had a Cy Young-esque season in 2003, 18-6, 200 plus strikeouts. He lived up to his expectations early. That's what he was supposed to be. But what happened after that? Nothing. The Cubs got one great season out of Pryor. And if you ask anybody in this town, Mark Pryor is a bust. Everybody will tell you that. They'll open up about it easily. There's no question Pryor's a bust. So why do we treat Kris Bryant differently? Bryant really had one good year. He won the MVP. What's he done since then? Why are we still fawning over Kris Bryant? That was 5 years ago. Who even remembers at this point? I mean, besides the delusional Cubs fans who sit here and continue to recollect the 2016 World Series. It's over. It's 2020. And Kris Bryant can't hit the baseball. And he's 28. He's supposed to be in his prime. What should I interpret there? How should that be interpreted to an outsider? The guy's 28 years old, top 10 pick, former MVP, can hit. And hasn't hit for a while. If we say Mark Pryor is a bust for having one good year, why can't we say the same about Kris Bryant? Why does everything get canceled for Bryant by the MVP year? The last time I checked, the Cubs drafted him for sustained success. They drafted him to be a cornerstone of the franchise. That's not what's happening now. And even though he's being marketed as the face, marketed as a great player by the Cubs and baseball alike, the numbers don't lie. He's not there. He hasn't been there since 2016. So I beg the question, is Kris Bryant a bust? Has he lived up to expectations? I read you the definition. A highly touted or highly selected draftee that does not meet expectations. It is subjective. Some may say he automatically already has because of the MVP in the World Series. I disagree. The Cubs' expectations were clear. We're drafting for our future. He will be the face of the franchise. And he sure isn't playing like that right now. More to come here on Sports Talk Chicago. My interview with Scott Merkin comes up next, so stay tuned.